You have people listening from every corner of this planet. No knowledge has been dispersed so beautifully, so balanced across the planet, on this planet ever, maybe in the universe. You have the full potential of achieving everything in the universe. There is no need and there is no reason for man not to achieve. So, wherever you are, the way I taught you to make the coils double fall inside, you have continuous equal gravitational magnetic field, and if you put CO2 on it, and you put zinc on it, you have connected the emotion of the man to it on a stable condition, and you'll find out you become a very peaceful man. Here, instead of having galaxies and universes and creating connection magnetically, we have used the matter state gravitational magnetic field strength to dominate and dictate the shape of the plasma. The nanotechnology, the nanomaterial which you have collectively developed in different ways, by caustic, by electric currents, by whatever, fire or whatever, has that advantage that the matter, the nano, and the plasma is all the same. So connection is very solid. It's very strong. The power of the plasma technology, the way we have thought, is beyond imagination of the man. Now we can create and control the plasma, which is the mother of the creation of the universe. We are given the seed of the essence of the creation. The foundation does not belong to no one and is not made of one anymore. You are developing it, you are structuring it, and from today we will be still the same. We'll still develop the technology in different names, in different colors, in different nationalities which they do not exist. It is beautiful when we see the Christian, the Muslims, the Jews, and every other belief are working together to build up systems. We have already become one faith. We already have become one nation, and we already become one planet. You got to remember one thing. Dates is irrelevant. Today is the last day of the Christian calendar, or tomorrow is the beginning of another. One day is connected to another. We don't stop. We are working around the clock. The Keshe Foundation team is working irrespective of time, position, religion, country. And now we achieve what we set out for.
Welcome everyone to the 14th International Knowledge Seekers Workshop of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. And once again, we're here with Mr. Keshe of the Keshe Foundation. And I believe he's ready to go with today's presentation. We hope to hear, I understand from Douglas on the agricultural side today. But Mr. Keshe, are you there?
Yes, good day, good morning to you, good afternoon, as usual, wherever and whenever you listen to these teachings. We have started this international teachings that different nationalities will come, or different from different nationalities and languages come and teach us what they have developed or what they want to share as a knowledge with us. We'll go back on this possible to discuss again on Thursday. We received a number of requests regarding the announcement of the training of the what we call the modules for a space development. This term of teaching is for 3 months, or about 3 months. And in that time frame, we expect to teach every aspect of the technology. The location and the place of the teaching and training will be announced around about September. On the other hand, you need to know why you want to be, or is it just an adventure? If it's an adventure, please do not join. You'll be very soon find out that you'll have come to a term, to a study group that you don't fit in, and then it becomes everything which is wrong with us because you never understood the purpose of the development of this course. So those of you who want to know what's going to be the curriculum, there is no curriculum. Your curriculum is to learn and for us to teach you how to build every aspect of the technology and become on your own for your nation and nationals, messengers or passengers, to teach them to carry on how they want to go to space. The plan is to make nation of people of space. The plan is that we become all together. It's not for us to watch one nation launching or sending. The plan is the 144 members of the council will carry 1,000 each with them across, and they train themselves, their nationals or the country fellow men. This is the plan, that by the end of the 3 months, not only you become the passengers, not only you become developers, you become the teachers of your own nation into space technology. It does not matter where you come from, what language you speak. So this way we make a nation of people of space with the ethos of the space. As I said, the site for it has been set up, and you can go on the Keshe Foundation website and register yourself and fill in the form. We know a number of rogue people have already started moving. We are watching it, but you will not get in. The structure is very solid. We will not accept those, and we leave it to our freedom to accept or reject. On the other hand, people who are asking about the Rome event, Rome is the second meeting of the Universal Council, and for people to understand, to interact with the member of the councils of their language and how the course of humanity will be set. The Universal Council will take over the present United Nations work, where this time there is no voting right and there is no buying of the rights to vote or whatever, all the problems we see. There is no bribery, there is no backhanders, and there is no piece of cake that it can be shared in how we invade another nation or another planet or whatever. So it is done in a very systematic way that the Universal Council will take its position in running the affairs, what is said to of the people who respect his authority. And the authority of them does not come by voting and stands on its own merit of the serving of the humanity. We repeat this in the following teachings, Thursdays and next Tuesdays, as a number of people are coming to Keshe Foundation for this purpose. On the other hand, the doctor's teaching, which starts next Wednesday afternoon, is only for doctors, and it's doctors@keshefoundation.org. If you go to it, you're a doctor, do not send us email, I'm a doctor, I want to participate. Doctors at cashfoundation.org. You go in there, you send things, you get the application, fill in the application form. As you are vetted and you're passed to be qualified medical doctors, not alternative doctors, you'll be allowed to join the panel. You bring your own patients and you discuss your own cases, or you learn from the others, or the platform of doctors on the side, on the session will discuss how they see it, and we will introduce how we see it. And as you have a very capable man as a doctor behind, who is the man who makes units as well himself, they will arrange for units to be made for doctors if possible, that they can be supported for their cases. The Innovation Center will be expanded in a rapid way, that Innovation Center developers will be sitting with the doctors to see what the doctors need, that they know what they're developing for what cases. So we bring in the developers in time. This is Cash Foundation Develop Innovation Center people to see what is needed, that it can be developed very rapidly for every case if we can do so. The reason is because I've done this myself for years. I've seen somebody who has certain problem, and then I had to assess how to make a system, and then I had to make the system for them that I could give it to them to use it. This way, doctors, a lot of you like to have a solution, but you don't know how to make the system. So we have, and we bring the people in the Innovation Center to be on each teaching, that they can support in building systems for the doctors, at the same time collecting data that it can be used by the others. Now, we go to Douglas. He wants to show us something. Douglas, what do you have? Can we see your strawberries, please?
Mr. Cash, I would like to add that it's doctors at spaceshipisinstitute.org.
Oh, it's not Cash Foundation, sorry.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Cash Foundation at doctors at cashfoundation.org or doctors at kfssi.org. The reason Stanley says that is because it's part of the teaching, part of the Cash Foundation, and Stanley is responsible for teaching. So doctors' teaching goes under that panel. The same does when we do other developments on the same basis. Okay, is Douglas there, please?
I'm not sure if Douglas is on right now, actually, Mr. Kesh. I don't see him here. Is any word from Douglas? Let me check in with him, see if he's available.
Can we have the screen, please, Fabio? We don't have the screen. Where do I look for it? You can't find it? Okay. Oh. Hello? It just came up. Rick, are you there?
Yes. Yeah, I'm just trying to find, see if I can get a hold of Douglas here right now, Mr. Kesh.
Is he or not?
I don't think he's online right now. I'm just trying to get a hold of him through Zoom here.
Maybe he's still asleep.
That could be.
It's the wrong time for him. Okay.
He just came to the desktop. I think that he's coming online.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, he showed his strawberry fields, and he said he wants to show it. I said there is no reason why not. Let's have a look at the strawberries. If we can give him a time to come back. Are there any questions that we can answer in what is being put in respect to the teachings in past few weeks? Are there any questions? Yes, you have a question. Giovanni has a question. I'm going to give you the microphone.
For make the kit of CO2 for a pure guns for the disaster, nuclear disaster, it's better a normal kit of CO2 with the plate inside the boxes, or it's better put the plate outside the box.
A lot of people have tried to make CO2 outside the box, and none of them have managed up to now because they don't know how to do it. There is an alternative way which you can do is to cover the plate in a plastic bag, a sealed bag, and put it in the salt water. So you don't get any zinc or you don't get any copper oxide. So whatever it is a pure. But depends on what kind of plastic you use, because now you introduce a new parameter into the salt content.
So if we use the old system, it's necessary to pick up
There's no old system or a new system. It's just that you have to find the strength of the box you use, the plastic box.
Yes.
You have to take that into account in how far it could be that it gives you the right field. The field created to produce the carbon, it depends on the material which is there. Water counts. The H2O counts, COH, whatever is in there, it all counts. So you have to consider what is that you create the gap, the right gap for it. The plastic is too thick, so you never get the fields. You have to use the right kind of plastic, most probably much, much narrower, that the fields take over the plastic fields. Or you put them in a very thin plastic and put them in the salt water. If the condition is correct, you'll get a pure CO2. You get no zinc oxide, you get no copper oxide. Have you found?
Thank you.
Have you found Douglas yet?
Douglas is in.
I believe so, yes.
Okay, let's start.
Oh, Douglas, are you there? Can you,
Good morning. Good morning.
hi.
How's everybody today?
Will you be able to show your screen and do your video and pictures today?
Yes, I sure will. I think I've got it all set up over here, ready to go. The video is 10 minutes long, and I've got several pictures. And the video is self-explanatory. If you want me to, I'll share my screen and play the video.
Okay, that'd be great. And make sure you make sure you turn the sound on the share screen so that we can hear the sound.
Okay, let me see here. Share computer sound. Just screen. Can't play. Huh. Well, it says that I can't play it like that.
Try to use another player.
I can go into my other. I had it set out there where it was playing in a MP4 and AVI file. I mean,
open with.
We can see your screen fully, what you have. Should please.
okay.
Close your screen, do your work in the background.
Okay, here we go. We can try this one here. Hey guys, Douglas here, May the 10th, 2006. Can we see that one? Let me try that one. That one's working.
Okay.
Let me shut this down here in the background. And share screen. And I guess that would be my desktop. Share computer, share desktop.
You can share just a window if you want. Instead of the whole
How's this?
desktop.
Can you see this now?
Yes.
Okay, now we can play it. Okay. To share with you my strawberry patch. This was 17 slips of strawberries that I planted. And as you can see, that's an 8-foot board, so it's about 12 foot long, maybe a little bit more, and 10 foot wide. So roughly 120 square feet of strawberries out of 17 slips. Now I've been making CO2 GANs ever since October the 26th, and every time I get done making my GANs, I take my tub of water and I just take it out here and throw it over the plants. You can see where the majority of it has gone. I've got chicken wire over the strawberries to keep the chickens from getting in here, but I wanted to share with you. They are everywhere. I mean, strawberries everywhere, and they are the juiciest. And I've also noticed that the squirrels, along with Douglas, loves them. Well, the chickens just pick them, pick at them, and Doug eats them. And here's one I'll show you. There. That's what the chickens do to them. They peck at them. Let's see if I can step over here without. And you can just see there's just berries everywhere. They're buried everywhere under here too. Oh, goody, goody, goody. Beautiful. But this is a result of the CO2 GANs. Oh, gorgeous. This is 17 plants, like I said. I put the wood around here. As you can see, my sunrise is 4-wheeler right through here, but we're going to bring it out all the way over here to the fence line and let them come all the way across this fall when they start doing their vining process. And like I said, I've had to lay these over here to keep the critters out. Thank you, Mr. Cash, because his family loves strawberries, and I am telling you what, out of 17 slips and a couple gallons, well, I threw more than that out here. I'd say several gallons of CO2 gas water. And this is the one place I've got that's bad. It's got some clover in it. You got to weed it out when the strawberries die back this fall and start doing their what I call stretching, expanding out and growing. But you can just look at them all. They're just everywhere. Green ones, red ones. I mean, just bunches of them. Just as many as I can pick. And we have already, my daughters have already picked 2 whole buckets. 2-gallon buckets. You guys excuse me while I'm eating berries. I'm sorry. I love strawberries. Oh, look at that one. Beautiful. Whew. Let's let that focus on there. Oh, my bad. Tap. Ooh. Mmm. 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 I can feel that CO2 gas energized strawberry energizing me right now. That's how they all are. It's either we're not getting to them in time, they're dying because we're not picking them fast enough. We love strawberries, but we truly can't eat them that fast. Well, imagine what next year will bring. I will sit them out on the road, right up there's the highway, and set a sign out alerting others of strawberries that they can come pick. That way we keep them picked back. And right now they don't get wasted because we are feeding some of the animals. But I mean, just look at them everywhere. I am so blessed, truly blessed. To have strawberries like this. And while I'm here, I'm picking out some weeds too that I can reach. I lift up this one, you can see all the, look at all those strawberries. They're everywhere. 17 slips. And like I said, the squirrels, the chickens, me, because I keep getting Wish I could send each and every one of you some. I'll let you guys try them out because they are truly scrumptious. Let me put this back over there like that. I've already got a fence back here for the chickens, and that's the chicken coop. We'll put them back here in this little area and have it all fenced in over the top so they can't get out either. It'd be a great place for them. But like I said, I've noticed the squirrels are taking a bite or two, which like I said, we're feeding animals. So what we can't eat, we're helping Mother Nature. Help her little friends store up for the winter. So anyway, want to get this video out of all these beautiful berries. The success we've had, you can see all the red throughout there. That camera doesn't lie. And show all the success we've had with the CO2 Gants. And I'm sure. And I'm sorry, and that's where my battery went dead. Can you hear me?
Yes, I want to ask you something.
Yeah, sure.
If you pick these strawberries up and put them aside, how fast do they rot?
Did you? Let me turn you up the volume. Did you ask me if they were aside? How long did they rot?
How long would it take before they start rotting?
If I pick them,
Yeah.
I haven't really checked yet, sir. Every time the girls pick them and bring them in, they usually eat them really fast. They don't stay in the refrigerator overnight. They're usually gone by the next morning. So the ones that are on the vine, once they become red, after a few days, if you don't pick them, they start becoming mushy and turning brown. But I'll pick some nice fresh ones today and see how long they last on their own, just out in the open environment.
This is something we would like to know. Those of you who do experiment with CO2 gas. If you have a plant or plants which are grown normally and then you have a plant which is grown by CO2, or you have used any kind of cans to water them, what's the time duration of the fruit to decay that becomes up?
Mr. Kesh.
Close your microphone, please, Douglas.
Yes, sir.
You have a feedback. The important thing for us is because this is part of the research which is going in the Innovation Center, we are looking in the process of extending the life of the fruits. At the moment, in the countries, in what we call, they use radiation, cobalt radiation, to more or less destroy most of the bacteria or whatever is considered to be harmful to the fruit or to blood. We are testing in the background to see how much we can extend the life of the fruit without any radiation. Brennan, are you there by any chance?
Yes, sir. I'm here, sir.
Well, could you enlighten us in that research, what we are doing, how it's going on with
Yes.
the gases, please?
Okay. So with the food preservation, we had made already two full experiments. But with the first experiment, we are using only the lead GANs patch and CO2, copper oxide CO2 with copper oxide, CO2, and CH3 on the other side patch. So it's like a bowl that we put on the top is the lead GANs, and the bottom is the CO2 and CH3. So we exposed the fruits inside and we tested it with banana. So banana easily has a long time to naturally rot. So we exposed them together with in that box, but we found out that there's still leakage, or there's still they still decay at the same time with the environment. So that was the first testing. So the next testing we did is that we put it in a acrylic glass, and the whole box, which is acrylic, is on all sides. The six sides were put with the same GANs patches, liquid GANs patches, all on all sides, lead GANs facing the CO2, lead GANs facing the CH3 and the CO2, and the other both sides as well, and the other on the top and the bottom. So what happened is there's a little difference already in the discoloration, but still it rot at 7 days it already rots. So both ways. So the third, as Douglas is doing simultaneously with his apple that he have shown, he just put it on top of the cup, which is a nano coated cup with the CO2 GANs. So in his testing, he got one side of the apple being not rotten until now, is already a month, and the other side of the apple has been rotten. So we replicate it as well in in a container right now. So we're still gathering the data for these to see if it's all inside a nano coated copper system bowl, and the fruit will be inside. So we will show that soon when we get a discoloration of the control, then we will compare it. So right now, as of right now, it's been 3 days, 4 days for the setup yet, but it's not yet viable to see the difference of the fruit coloring. So once we see the black parts, who will have the black part, we can also confirm the setup of Douglas with this apple using only the nano-coated copper glass, a nano-coated copper cup, and the CO2 GANs in it being exposed. So that's one thing that we're looking into for the food preservation aspect for the using nanomaterials.
Any other information on this we can get?
Yeah, Mr. Kesh, I've got the pictures of the apple. I finally cut it open yesterday after 4 months. So I've got pictures of what the inside of the apple looks like. I cut it in half, and then I quartered it, so you can see what it looks like in half in the direction of the what I call the field, the good side and the dead side. And then I quartered it so you can see the whole interaction of the inside of the apple. I have a picture of that if you would like to see it.
Could you share it with us, please?
Yes, just give me 1 second here.
You see, one of the, till you find your pictures, let me explain. One of the biggest problems at this moment of time is preservation of food due to different kind of contamination. So a lot of nations keep reserves of food, but due to time, due to fungus which cannot be seen, these has to be replenished on regular basis. A country like United Kingdom has what they call national reserves, something like the top 20 products needed on emergency are kept in national reserves, and these are kept, and some of them are replenished on regular basis because they get fungus on them, and they cannot do anything with it. And the radiation doesn't work, and then they have to dispose of these foods, or they have to sell them at a very cheap price that they can replenish. It's a very big market to keep national reserves. Even with the stores, one of the problems with the stores is the perishability of the food products. At the moment, they use X-rays, they use what they call gamma rays. They use all sorts of radiation. Cobalt is one of the most favorite way to use cobalt tunnels, and you just pass the food at a certain speed to kill whatever could be there. Now today that we have developed a new science, new technology as a plasma, liquid plasma, and field plasma, we add to this knowledge. This is a new way to preserve food without damaging food, without interacting with the, excuse me, can you tell me how I can get rid of this one? So what we've introduced, as you know, we have come into the space technology in what we call the liquid plasma, vapor plasma, and into the field plasma technology. Thank you very much. So let's look at the new process. This process never been discussed. It's the first time we put it on. And it'll be interesting to see how you, as the Keshe Foundation followers and the Innovation Center, can follow in this path. We put the food in the olden days, we boiled it, we salted, we sugared it, we canned it, whatever we did to preserve it. But all this preservation was to destroy the bacteria that it cannot grow on it. We never handled it in a way that we give a new environment to it that it doesn't allow the bacteria to grow. What was just explained by Brennan is to put patches around and see what we do. We come further to this. We come into the process now that we're talking about liquid plasma. This means the water of the plasma with its energies. So what you will understand you can do, it'll be very interesting to see how far you can take this, is to get the gas water of copper oxide. It's important. Get the gas water of CO2, not much, very little. And just wash the fruit in it, or pass the meat through it, and see how long would take. We usually, when we buy meat from supermarkets or you buy from butcher, you don't immediately cook it. You wash the meat, and then you put it in the freezer so you don't carry the germs inside. This time, create a gas of copper oxide, very light mixture, and put the food through it. Put the food through it, and see how long it'll take Or would it extend the life of the fruit? Or would it extend the life of what we used to call salting the meat? The water gans of the copper oxide is disinfectant, is germ killing, and it depends how long it can stay. And as you wash it through, should it stay. We consume none. You can wash it back before you use it, or try to understand, just don't eat the fruit. See how far you can extend it. If you wash it with the gas of CO2, the lifespan should be shorter than when you wash it with a small dilution of copper oxide. This will give a huge advantage to nations to preserve food. A huge advantage. In time, when you do the testing, you come back and you tell us how long. Don't forget, you have seen this work. You know exactly how it works. It's just understanding the extension of the knowledge. We saw with the waters from Japan, we saw from the waters from Ghana, how a drop of the gas water killed or separated all the germs, all the materials, all the sediments from the water. As you saw with the reports from Ghanaian Atomic Energy Authorities, even there is no microbiology, microscope. There is no microbes. There is no viruses. There is no Ebola even in the water. So what it'll be interesting to see is, what about if we wash the apple in water gas of CO2 and in a water gas of CO2. And then leave an apple on its own. Take a piece of meat, follow the same process. Now we are in a process of the plasma technology and its ultimate strength at what we can deliver. The problem which you see that the gas materials, you have to understand what you're adding or what you're taking away. You have to understand what energies are concerned. CuO2 is part of the structure of copper oxide material, which should give disinfecting property like any disinfectant you know. We know exactly what it does. But it could be too powerful for certain uses. The dilution with others can reduce, but still keep part of its potency. So the same with the strawberries. Put a patch of strawberries and wash a patch with the gas water and just leave it on site. Try to add and extend the knowledge. Try to understand how you can preserve food in a way running it through river of CO2 or copper oxide. These can be done on a very flat basis where you can preserve food and meat. Packages where you put a meat in and you just put a copper oxide gas water as a sealant. The important part is how we can keep preservation of the food in any kind of condition. Do we need refrigeration when we have CO2? Do we need, or can we see that what is the difference if you have the food outside in the fridge and in the CO2 in the open space which has been treated or been processed? These are the next steps. That's why I asked that we can see the strawberry plant today. Would this give extended life to the fruits for years? Would this allow and seal the system that no fungus can even breathe?
Excuse me, Mr. Cash.
Pardon?
I would like to add something on the data that we have gathered.
Yes.
one thing is we think that that's why the fruits has still rotten immediately, because we use CH3 as part of the patch, and maybe the sugar of creating CH3 cause it to ripe
You
faster.
gave energy.
Yeah, it was the that's why we're gonna remove the CH3 part. Only the CO2 will be remain. I will. Can I show the setup for them to if
Please,
they can as
please.
I'll
And
show.
then I add to the knowledge afterwards. Carry on.
Yes, sir. I'll just show the pictures that how we set it up so that they can see.
Please share the picture. Where do we go? Let me see. I don't know where I'm going to find you, but let me see.
Can you see?
Yeah, you can share. Hanging
Can you
banana.
see?
Yes.
So we put it in the box in the middle. So there's a CH3 area and a CO2. So what was the and then close it for a week, and from there we close it, and with a control. The control is we have the same setup of roots here.
I think this box is too big.
Yeah, the box is I think is also big enough. Or we're trying to put how it's 18 inches by 18 inches. So we're gonna sort it out in a way. Let me see. So there are three systems that we made. This is the first system was system C, the box, and this is the system B. Just both top side still CH3, and on top is the cover, which is a copper oxide, and the other one is pure water of CO2 and run. So all of them rot at the same time. I think it's just because of the maybe it's not yet because that all the plastics that we made are not all nano coated as well. So one thing, yes, sir.
I think if you would have wrapped it, you would have seen a different result.
Yeah. So it will be a different result. So
Carry on. Hello.
yes, sir. We will change the setup already for all CO2 on all the sides of the containers, just to contain or uh, wrap around each fruit with CO2 patch, and we'll see how long will the wrap banana with CO2 patch and the unwrap. So how long will be the difference in their time of preservation? So that's the next type of one. Just doing it individually instead of putting them in a bigger or smaller box, or just wrap them around with the CO2 patch. That's the
Yeah,
next part, sir.
if you test liquid guns and direct fill guns, you might find a different answer. That's perfect. First of all, we spoke about, thank you very much, Shannon. You spoke about the preservation using the CO2 and copper oxide. And the same way, you can use the CH3, which is the energy giver. You can even use water to mature the fruit if you want to mature it rapidly. You buy the fruit, you want to consume it, the time comes, you preserve it, you want to bring it to out of its preservation, you can add CH3. And strange thing enough is Alex somewhere in the background. Do you see Alex by any chance?
Morning, Mr. Kesh.
Hello, Alex. Would you like to share your knowledge with the food preservation, please?
Yeah, I put I made a cup of I don't have the cup here now, but I made a cup that has a double wall, and I put the CO2 liquid water in it, and then I put some fruits in it, and then I made a dummy, a control, and then the one that I had the liquid plasma is still there. It's not rotting, but the other one is completely rotting up. And then another thing I want to add: if you make if you grow your crops with CO2 with GANs, not just CO2, the fruits tend to stay longer than the normal ones. I think they stayed for about 3 or 4 weeks longer than the normal fruits.
How do you apply it? How do you do it?
I grew CO2 with I grew tomatoes with CO2 last year, and then not just tomatoes, I did potatoes as well. I just used the water, water to water the tomatoes, and then the fruits when they came out, it lasts longer for. I mean, it takes longer to rot than the one that I bought from Tesco's.
And they're sweeter?
Of course, they're sweeter. The fruits grown with CO2 are sweeter. I mean, with gans, it's not just CO2 are normally sweet, and then the taste is a little bit different. It's more enhanced. It's like I don't know how to describe it. It's very well more enhanced than the normal taste. It's different. But now I'm trying to see what the outcome of the plantain I'm growing is going to look like, because I planted plantains with the gases of CO2, and then I had a control, and then the other one, the ones that I use CO2 on, they're growing like 2 or 3 times faster than the ones that I did not use CO2 on. So I'm just waiting to see what the taste is going to be like when I harvest them in a couple of months' time.
You got some information for us about malaria. You're very anxious.
Oh yeah. I'm working with a doctor in Nigeria, and then I'm here in UK. But while I was away, he told me that I told him I made the ganses of the herbs we use to cure malaria in Nigeria, and then I told him to make a mixture of the ganses. Takes like, we have 3 different plants, so it takes the CO2 liquid water from each of the ganses of the plants are made, and then use it to treat the patient. He reported to me last week that he's having a lot of progress. All of the clients he dealt with, they all healed within a couple of hours using this.
Alex, this is very important. We know we have a large number of African listeners.
Yeah.
Can you go through it step by step exactly what is done, how it's done, please?
Okay. If, for instance, you want to make if you want to make the ganses, you want to know how to make the ganses of plants. What I did is I made a CO2 capture kit, and then I just placed one of the herbs on each of the 3 capture kits I made. So when the gans came out, I extracted the gans and stored it in bottle. And then after a couple of months, this is a long time. I've done this a long time ago. So
okay. Wait. To you is like bread and butter. To us, we gotta understand.
All right.
You made a CO2 box.
Yeah.
And then you put the herbs, 3 different herbs in the box.
Not on the same box, in 3 different boxes.
Pardon?
I made 3 sets of CO2 reactor.
And then you put these herbs in each herb in each box.
On each of them, not in the water, just on top of it.
On top of it, okay.
Yeah. And then you extract the CO2 from it.
Yeah.
And then you put the CO2 in different containers. 3 different containers. And then after a couple of months, I extracted the water from each of them, because it was just recently that you told us about the liquid plasma. So I instructed the doctor to take the liquids from each of the bottles and mix them together into a soup, and then he used it to he gave it.
Are these ganses washed or not washed?
They are all washed.
All washed. So let me go, because it's important for us to understand. You tell us later on what the development is as it goes along. You made a CO2 kit.
Yeah.
You put the herb on top of the kit.
Yeah.
You took the gans which is produced in the kit.
Yeah.
You wash it, and then after you washed it, you fill it up with the water, and the doctor uses that water.
Not instantly. I let it settle for about 3 months later that he used it.
Yeah, but The water which is without the gans, or does the doctor uses the gans as
No,
well?
not the gans, just the water from the gans.
Just water from the gans? And then what happens? How does he do it? Do they wash themselves? Do they drink it? What is the
No,
procedure?
they just took a syringe and put it up and put some drops. I think just 5 drops he put in each glass of water for the. I mean, he was trying with 3 drops first. I think he was. It wasn't really as effective, so he tried 5 drops in a glass of water, and then he told me in a couple of hours they all got better.
The malaria ones, what, going through a malaria attack?
Yeah, the ones that were going through malaria, serious malaria attack, not just ordinary, that it just disappeared.
This is the first time we get this report. We've been waiting for this for a long time. Those of you who don't know, a lot of people in Africa die, especially children, of malaria. And it costs less than $1 to get an injection. And a lot of people in Africa cannot afford it. Am I correct?
Yes, Mr. Kesh.
I have seen my workers in Africa going through this, and it's horrible. When you see a man going through a malaria attack, and that time was only about 12,000 pence to get an injection to stop the process. This is a natural process. If we can bring this and let it test it, we ask other African nations, cash foundations, to test it and bring it back to us. Can you tell us how is it diagnosed? How is it used? How often is used?
I think he gave them in the morning. He gave them 1 glasses each, one dose of the tablet in the of the solution. In the afternoon, same thing, and then in the evening, the same thing. And then even before in the evening, they were all getting better. All of them. No one of them was feeling sick anymore.
Do they go through the shake or the convulsion, or it's just?
I've not asked him about that. He just told me about the result.
Malaria attacks in different strengths is very important for us to understand.
Okay, I'll let him know. I'll let him know about that, and then I'll get the feedback.
Yeah, and the rest, because I know you tested this yourself the last time you came back from Nigeria.
Yeah, but I used the gans itself. I put some ganses in the bottle in the plastic bottle. I fill it with water, and then when I want to take my bath, I just put the bottle in the bath water and let it sit for about an hour. Then I take my bath. I never had malaria while I. That's prevention. I never had malaria while I was there. Up to now, I've never had malaria since then. But before, if I go to Africa and spend a couple of days and I come back, I always come back with malaria. But now it doesn't happen anymore.
Fantastic.
And then another thing.
Yes, carry on.
Another thing I want to add, for those of you who's done the ganses of fruits, I discovered that if you leave the ganses longer, it tastes. I mean, the water of the ganses tastes very salty, and not salty. It's like a stock. It tastes like nutrition. Yeah, it tastes like there's nutrient in it. I don't know. Maybe you have to test it, and maybe you can describe it better for me. Because if I put
you have a very good companion in Ghana, huh? In the research center.
Oh, and Ben.
Benjamin, ask Benjamin, can you test this and tell me what happens?
Okay, I'll tell him. I'll ask Gutua as well to see what he can come up with.
Is Benjamin online?
I've not seen him online now. I'm not sure he's there.
I don't see Benjamin. We most probably see Benjamin and a group of Ghanaian Atomic Energy Authority scientists with us on Thursday if they can manage to make it.
Okay.
There is some development. That's beautiful. I know you've been trying to tell me, and I don't have time much to call. Anything else we can? How is the position with Nigeria now?
Yeah, it's going well. It's going well. Slow, but I mean, we're getting there because I have to go through the countryside and so on, and the roads are not really good. So it's all right. It's going. It's spreading fast actually.
African slow pace. What happened with the test with the oil on the ground?
Yeah, but nothing really happened. Maybe now we have to use a liquid plasma. Nothing. We could not extract nothing.
Nothing happened. You didn't see any development.
Yeah, but there's another thing, Mr. Kesh. Feeding with the liquid plasma, I think it's better when you make a CO2, you make a double layer cup and just fill the cup with liquid plasma and then place your water in in the inner cup and drink.
Mm.
It's more effective.
What, the liquid plasma water?
Yeah. If you make a soup, if you make a mixture of liquid plasma, you put it in a double layer cup, and then if you want to use it, just put some water in it. You can even put like I placed some apple on top of one of the cups, and when I drank it, was it day before yesterday? The water was tasting sweet, proper sweet.
You test anything, Alex, huh?
Yeah, I like testing things.
Uh,
I like being the guinea pig.
You're developing the African, the Nigerian side now. You told me with the government, you're trying to go that way.
Yeah, I'm trying to work with some local government councils now. But it's difficult to work with the governments in Nigeria. I don't understand why they hesitating about this technology. Well, I think because they don't understand it properly. I try to explain to them, but the government still don't. We've not been able to catch up. But now I'm getting a headway. I have a meeting in a couple of weeks time with some government officials. So I'll let you know what the outcome, because I'm asking them to give me if they can give me some space in some schools that's in the city, so that I can give them the lectures there. So I'll see what is going to come, what they're going to come up with soon.
Okay, thank you very much. Thanks for going to Nigeria.
All right, thank you, Mr. Kesh.
Thank you very much, Alex. All the best.
All right, yeah.
Do we have anyone from Kenya online? Any development from Ghana or from Kenya? He's not online.
Mr. Cash, Ms. Jackie.
Hello, Jackie. How are you? You're
Very
a
good.
fan. I read your entry. For 3
Yeah.
months, you haven't had any, or you've been on this trial of not eating food.
Yep.
How is the position?
It's wonderful. And since you speak about the plasma liquid, I have some very good results. And
I'm online.
Oh, hello, doctor. We come back to you in a minute.
and with different setup, we can make some beautiful things. If I just can show you something.
You can share the screen.
Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Cash.
Yes, doctor. If you give us a chance when Jackie stops, then we come back to you.
You see, this is one, it's oil, GANs, olive and oil. I make some GANs olive. This is vinegar. And this is really interesting. 1 second.
How did you make the olive?
The oil, it's all the setup is the same. I put some caustic soda in it. And then I put some liquid plasma CO2 on it. And then I wash and I do it 3 or 4 times the same. But if you see there,
what you do, you get the olive, you put caustic on it,
yeah,
and then you wash the caustic.
Absolutely. And then I put some liquid plasma of CO2. And I wash with the CO2 liquid 3 or 4 times. And then I use the liquid. And I make the same with the vinegar, this is some amino acid, beautiful amino acid. It's wonderful. It's from tryptophan and other amino acid. This is from...
How do you make a GANs of amino acid?
Exactly the same.
What do you put in the water?
I take some tryptophan and different amino acid or protein like you want, and there was in a capsule, and then I open the capsule and I take only the substance, and then I put caustic soda, boiling water, I let it. I dry the water, and then I put some liquid plasma CO2, and I do it again for 3, 4, 5 times. Exactly the same.
From the beginning, you put a caustic on the meat, for example,
Yeah,
and then you wash it, and you add CO2 to it,
yeah,
and then you take the water of the gans, which you create.
exactly.
You use the water of the CO2. The gans of CO2 will carry the energy from the meat. In a way, it's a cocktail of CO2 and protein.
Exactly. And this is a wonderful one. It's from a bone marrow, you see,
Bone marrow of what?
of beef.
How do you produce it?
Exactly the same.
You put the bone marrow in a caustic,
Yeah, and there is no more bone. The bone is gone, and the spirit is outside.
and you add, after that, you take the, whatever it's the nanomaterial state out,
Yeah,
and then you put the gans of CO2 and you use the CO2 to transfer the
exactly.
Okay.
And it's beautiful. And I make with the vegetables exactly the same. This is with the snow. It's perhaps the first time you see a gans of snow.
Can I ask you, do you use the gas water of CO2 with the, let's say, the meat, or do you use the water of the?
I don't understand the end of the question.
Do you use the GANs CO2 or do you use water of the GANs?
Water of the gans.
When you mix it with the protein or with olive?
Yeah, only the liquid plasma, only the liquid of CO2. And you know, when you put the liquid plasma, it's become really more compact, and the water become really more clean, you know, and more clear. And
Of the snow.
I just collect the snow. I put some caustic soda, then I wash, then I put CO2, and that's it.
It's very much making the gas of the fuel.
Yeah.
So
And after,
so you put, with what I'm trying to, because a lot of people ask us some questions, how do you do this? That's why I go through the step by step.
yeah,
So you get the snow, you put a caustic on it, and then what do you do with it? Now it's all liquid. Then you
yeah.
put to it.
So then I have my bottle with distilled water, and I take a syringe and I put just some drops in it, and I just drink a small quantity 4 or 5 times per day. So I have the CO2 and I have what I want, the protein or the amino acid or whatever I want. And I just drink 3 deciliters of another liquid, and sometimes all the 3 days I have 1 meal. And this is only what I eat for 2 months. And you know, the beautiful things, it's when I start the process, I was 76 kilograms, and I watch on the computer, and my ideal weight is 68. And at the beginning, I go down to 65. And now from 1 month, I'm in 67.5. So I have my ideal weight. And the most beautiful things, yesterday I only have my liquid plasma. I was in France, I drove for 6 hours without any stop, just to make one feeding of the car, 5 minutes. I come back home, I go washing my car, then I start working until it was 5 in the morning when I sleep. and I just drink some few drops of this. And now from now I start making a new feeding system. You know, it's my new feeding system. It's, for example, it's protein, it's amino acid, it's CO2, and this is lead or sulfur GANs. And the connection, and when I make like I'm making with my old system, not old, the other system, and I put in the free plasma in the middle, I put the orange, the banana, my emotion, the peace, and all that I want. And I feed myself on this way. Too, it's working with no problem. And with this system, I try with my girlfriend last week. And for 1 week, she only have one small meat in the evening, and she feel very good, no problem, no bad emotion, nothing. It's just perfect for her. And I have a new setup I can share with you. It's for making the GANs more easy. I do that because I play for sometimes with the, you know, the batteries. So this light, it's these batteries who are working, and from the 15th of April, it's working, and now we are the 10, 2.5 volts, nothing changed for quite 1 month. And then I play in another way. I make some small boxes with zinc and copper oxide, all connected. I have 15 volt, you know, if we take on the 2 copper wire at the end. But the most beautiful thing, it's, you know, yeah, I have light, I can connect some light, so I have my light in my room. But the really nice things, it's when you have this setup, you have your energy, you have your CO2 cleanup in your house, then inside you have your CO2 production, and in every bottle you can add some amino acid, proteins, vegetables, tomato, orange, banana, B1, B12, everything that you want, like Alex said just before.
This is a copy of one of the first steps we made.
Yeah, sure. You said the truth, it is in the beginning.
Yeah. This, we have this somewhere in the labs.
Yeah.
But the structure has a way that you can use the GANs of it. Do you have, or do you show any signs of anything at all? Because you started with your system without drinking or eating. How you're eating and how you're drinking?
I drink 3 deciliters of liquid per day, and all the 3 days I have one meal.
Without drinking or any side effects, anything that you will see?
Yeah, a lot. I have some happiness, some joy, some more detached, you know, the physicality become less and less and less, and you become more detached. And when you start drinking some liquid plasma, you know, you see the separation between the 3 parts. And you become really more clear, and yeah, the best image I can give, it's crystal clear. Because nobody can attach you into the physicality.
Is your set still hanging in the room, the one you start eating from?
Yeah.
And how is the reaction of the other group which you started with you?
There is some people who are continue the process and some are stopping into it. It's like you said at the beginning of the teaching, we will lose a lot of people, because at the beginning it takes a little bit of attention and intention, and the body at the beginning wants some food and say, hello, I'm here, I want to eat. And it's just 2 or 3, 4 days they are difficult. Then it becomes a pleasure, and I really enjoyed the process. It's like when I was in Dubai, the last day was the buffet, and I can be in the buffet, everyone eat, every people enjoy the meat, and I eat nothing, and I just watch and speak with the people. And for me, it was the most beautiful moment in Dubai, because I can share, I can enjoy, I can make social activity without any food, and watching the other eating and enjoying the process. So it was really beautiful.
Thank you very much. This is part of the slow development we'll watch. In the coming days and coming weeks, I'll teach you a way that you will satisfy the hunger through plasmatic field or field of the plasma. And this is important for us. This is important for us because now we can extend the knowledge to the point that we become, then there is no need for food as such. Food becomes a luxury, which is if it's needed, and if you want to have. And now we go in the process of developing these technologies. We're going in the process of bringing these technologies. We're going into the process of accepting these technologies to be part of normal day. Thank you very much. We have our colleague from Kenya. Dr. You're there, you would like to speak and tell us if there's any developments from Kenya, please. Hello? Rick, are we still connected?
I believe he's still there. Let me unmute it.
Yes,
There he is.
good afternoon.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, this is Gatua.
Yes.
Hi, good afternoon, Dr. Kesh. How are you?
Not too bad. Thank you very much.
Good.
Do you have any news for us from Kenya?
I don't have a lot of news, but I'm putting the crops in the ground now for research. And I'm also testing seed germination using liquid plasma from various guns. I've started with CO2, and I will continue with CH3 and other guns. I'm also making lead guns for protection and rotation. But I'm very interested in food preservation, and I've listened, and I'm going to do that. But as you know, crops, of course, take a long time to grow. So it's a long process, but I will report whatever results I have as soon as I have them.
Thank you very much indeed. What the process is important for us to see and to understand is how we can bring the knowledge from different parts of the world. We've seen from US, we've seen from Switzerland, we've seen from Nigeria, and other part of the world. As we said, the Keshe Foundation has truly become an international organization in how we share the knowledge so freely. There is a problem rising, or we see it on the horizon, is to do with the doctors at keshefoundation.org. The doctors bring their own patients on the table of the discussion on how we can help. But most of you don't speak English, or we cannot communicate with you in your own mother language. We ask you if you submit application for the doctors on Cash Foundation, please submit with it a translator that we can do a clearance on them. We need to do a security clearance on your translators because it will be translated simultaneously for everyone at the same time. In the coming weeks, these open table teachings with the doctors will be done in an open manner surgery structure, which means we'll be in presence of doctors in the room where they can discuss or any kind of operational procedure which we need to discuss in building systems for them or applications will be used and will shown. We have already set up a system downstairs where we can show this. If it comes to, and when we teach the doctors where, for example, how to wrap the things, how to place the reactors in what part of the body, you'll be in a very little close, what do you call it, close, very much lab type, where we can put things, we can see how to use it, we can explain how the systems can be added and taken out and how the process will go through the body of the man. Do we have any questions? Are there any questions?
Mr. Kesh, I have some questions, I guess, or some input. I was also bringing up some pictures of what we're calling an avatar smoothie, where we use the patches around a water bottle. Would it be appropriate to share some of that?
Yes, you're here, why not?
Okay.
It's a national teaching, so anywhere the knowledge comes from the world, we what do you call it, we share.
Okay, well, you know, been doing a little research study with a local group of friends, and we sent out various patches of the ones that we're making here at the house. And then, you know, for them to explore, mostly with physical body stuff is what we were thinking about. But then I also had the fruit and veggie GANs that I've been making. And so the other day when I was getting ready to make my morning smoothie and pull everything out of the freezer, you know, all the fruits and veggies to put in the blender, I thought, well, why not just make a plasma smoothie, right? So I was playing with the different things that might be part of that. And I used the 2 CO2 patches like we do for the bread, you know, with the pain patch situation. So I used the 2 CO2 patches for the bread, and I put fruit and veggie GANs in the middle. And I thought also the amino acid patch, why not? Add a little protein in there. And then I put the CH3 to kind of power it up, I guess, and help it transfer to the water. And, you know, just ask the water to become the essence of those things so that my body can absorb the plasma nutrition, energetic value of that. So,
So what do you feel?
right. First, I felt like what the other fellow was saying, where the body kind of has a initial emotional response. Is like, that's not food, you know, and there's nothing in my tummy, so I haven't, you know, still have a hunger type of thing. So I had to talk with the body, right? You know, that this is something that we're learning that's new, to ask the GANs to help my body to start to make that shift to where it feels satisfied from that, because I know the energy is there. To me, it's more maybe the emotional part of it, getting over that, right?
Yeah.
So I took a small amount of it when I did my testing with the doctor that tested the frequencies for me and stuff. He said that about 3 ounces of that water should be enough for a meal. So I took some at, you know, breakfast and lunch and dinner time, about 3 ounces each. And it's just the first day, you know, I still was wanting food. And like the other fellow was saying, I figure it was probably going to be a time period of adjustment for my body, my mind, mostly, the emotions, to accept that this is a way to accept food into the body. So, you know, we've been playing with this stuff for the last few months since we've been listening to you, and we've been eating less and less and less. So this is just a picture of, putting those patches together in a sandwich bag and then put it around a water bottle. I always put them in my lunch bag anyways, so I guess, and take them to work in case I think of something to play with them. And so I guess they're already charging my water and my food for the day. And then my friend just takes her little pouch that's full of all of the patches. I mean, it's got I think 7 of them in there, and hangs that over her water bottle. So that's probably even more than what my smoothie has in it. So. And then this is the other way we're doing it. We have separate cups that are the double-walled cups. And we sent the patches. You can actually send a little pouch of the GANS water. We're only sending the GANS water now, since you said we don't need to send the GANS. And then the people make their own cup. We just send them a little pouch with a couple ounces of the plasma water, and then they can drill a hole or burn a hole in a double-walled cup and make them one, and sip from that through the day. So that we're just starting, people are just starting to play with it. And we have Zoom meetings every Sunday on our ideas and what we're doing to play with it. And I also put the plasma water in the garden. So it's got a Janessa crystal in the center, and it's a circular garden. So I put 6 little containers all the way around the garden, and then 3 in the center that are a mixture of the plasma waters. So, I have these fruit and veggie GANs, the CO2, CH3, ocean GANs, and amino acids. I purposefully didn't put any copper oxide in there because I remember you saying that plants don't really care for that. So these are the bottles that went around the garden.
Thank you very much. Yep.
Is the way that we're doing the smoothie there, is my understanding correct? Probably the body's going to need some adjustment time on how to assimilate that and to.
The process at the moment is we let the whole structure carries on and see what people come and we can deliver. It's very much like as we said with the section we started with for the eye and for the food supplements and for the skin. The production process has already started in Japan. We set up the factory to start the process. And in Europe, we're going through the process of licensing for the material to be produced in 2 continents. The understanding is how much we can add to the knowledge, how much we can go further in structuring the knowledge and understanding of the knowledge. So we are open to everything which you have, and you might be very little to you, but somebody might get a seed of thoughts which can bring a lot of changes to everything.
Yes, and my awareness is that, I'm showing the garden, there's going to be a point where we don't need the garden, right? Or it'll be optional. That's a lot of, you make money, you go buy the stuff, you make the stuff, you clean it up. That's a whole lot of time and energy involved in just the subject of food. When the opportunity here is to absorb it plasmatically, or that's the correct term.
Thank you very much. Thanks for your
You're welcome. Thank you for the wisdom.
We are here all to learn. Any other input from?
Hello, Mr. Kash. This is Paul from Togo. I want to know what should happen if. Hello.
Yes.
Okay, I want to know what should happen if we injected some small amount of plasma liquid in the fruit or in the food for preservation.
This is what we want when we asked today to be tested by the Keshe Foundation supporters and the lab. That's part of the structure. We know you cannot use by any chance the gases of the water, but we know if you preserve food, you do not use copper oxide. copper oxide literally not only it has a disinfectant property, but you don't use that much of it. Very little amount of copper oxide in a large volume of water. If you add, the process we're looking at is, does the cooking change the parameters with the copper oxide? We don't think so. With the copper oxide, what we call liquid plasma, not the copper oxide gas itself. If we added, would it make the change? And on the other hand, what quantity? This is one of the things which is at the moment under consideration in Ghana Atomic Energy Authority research. They come to the point that now they have start measuring the measuring process scientifically, how much and everything is started. Tomorrow they're going to count the number of the colonies each drop allows to grow. This is the way scientifically we can follow it. So what they are doing, they have taken as normal the infested water from the rivers, and they're adding different amount of different the strength of the gas of copper oxide and CO2, that kind of thing, into the water to establish a chart. That what you need for that. This needs international laboratories, and as Keshe Foundation now is part of the Ghanaian, what we call Atomic Energy Authority Research Center, and part of the structure of the work there in that country, we have a lot of facilities which is available to us. And for the first time, it's allowed us this week to go into detail, to allow measurements. And the only kind that we can measure, I think Benjamin will explain to you on Thursday with number of professors and doctors, if they can get a transmission line on, who are involved now with the Keshe Foundation. We have a number of scientists in Ghana, more than, I think, 5 or 10 of them, which are working around the foundation. And in the coming time, the Keshe Foundation Research Center in Ghana Atomic Energy Authority will become an independent faculty within the Faculty of the Atomic. They have seen the results. They have seen the production of energy in a drastic way. The scientists and the directors and the leading people in the structure have already been touched and used it, so they know it works. And we hopefully will see more development coming in from Ghana and same from Kenya, and we'll see how we develop this further. We have to find out how many drops of these things creates how much, because a lot of you watched the report by Benjamin, and he showed 2 columns of CO2 and copper oxide in the test they did. And we saw a drastic cleanup in the waters where copper oxide was used. This scientific, to a lot of people, was just numbers, but scientifically we stood back and looked at it. What does it mean? How much material is going, how much bacteria is getting destroyed that it can be useful? What bacteria does, or what germs does the copper oxide destroys? How much of it? Was it too much? How much CO2 do we need to at least get a clear water, or at least have a food or a drink that still maintains part of its integrity of the nourishment? These are the things, the developments which have started, and these we look into further and further now that we are working in conjunction with different, what you call, organizations internationally. These are the platforms which has taken years and months of work, and now we see the fruits of it. So in a few months' time, we should be able to tell you how many drops of CO2 will give you preservation of the food for how long. Because to me, to use copper oxide as a food in a food preservation, you most probably destroy most of the protein which is necessary and is nourishable. So we have to establish, these are what is coming up. These are what we have to look into. We are given and we accepted the opportunity in a very positive way, and in a due course we announced it, that allows us international collaboration with different institutes and organizations around the world. This takes a lot of work, takes a lot of energy, but now we see governments and organizations are taking notice that there is a change. There is a position that has to be checked out. We are working in the direction of how fast we can do and how fast we can use these things in the production. Like in Ghana now, in the laboratory, they are working with the soap of cans. They have already produced a number of different type of soap of cans and creams in conjunction with coconut, because they have seen the work of it with burn. They have seen the work of it for disinfection from Ebola and E. coli. So these are the things now that we have well established within the organization of atomic energy authorities, and new numbers will come on, we are developing. And everything carries a scientific report. It's not just something done because it's the time of the scientists of the country is spent to develop or to test. Everything has to be reported. So now we start stacking up huge amounts of data, which teachings like today brings out to me where we need to put more emphasis on, where we need to look at more, where we need to extend the knowledge into. On the other hand, hand in hand, the work of the Universal Council, which is set up, will come into operation, how to use the assets and the resources of the foundation for the benefit of all the nationals. Very soon, the Universal Council will have its own teaching and its own time in the teaching schedule, which means the Universal Council meets, or the Universal Council members are available online where you can discuss the problems. There is no voting taken. The procedure they will taught how to do. So Caroline will take a leading position in this in the coming weeks once it's set up, where the council has to agree on a date where they all could be possibly available, that different nationals come with the problem of their national, the language, as we go by that, we call it by the language of the country. They can ask the question. If you're a Chinese in Japan or Japanese in China, you speak your own language, and your council member is there to answer you, or to take note, to discuss, or to bring it on the table of the council. We are making, as Caroline calls it, an open table council, which means people have direct access to all the members on a regular basis. Once the date is agreed, these dates will go on for years. The council meets, you can put your position, so irrespective of your language, you can come on board and explain what you need, how you want to do it, and the way you want to do it, and what is needed. These are the progress which we have, and this international teaching like today allows us to bring. The Cash Foundation work and the KFSI work, it will be separated totally from Universal Council, where the Cash Foundation work goes under the banner of the Universal Council. This is important. We got to see what is the need? What do we need in Africa? What do we need in Asia? What do we need in America or in Europe? This is why we set up the councils. And bring the questions, bring your knowledge, and let the council sort it out. Let them give their support, and they will have the financial backing to deliver the needs of the man across the world at the same time, equally irrespective of your language. This is how we enter the process to change. And the international teachings like today are the beginning of it. Once the council decides on the regular date of meeting like today, you have discussion with them. You can come on board from anywhere around the world and put your position, your question, what is the need of the where you are or where somewhere else is. We're becoming an international organization in a very big way. And in that way, we have to accept our responsibilities to all the citizens of this planet, irrespective of color, race, or not only the creed. What about the vegetations and the animals? We have to pass the boundary of self-centeredness of what is good for a human being. We have the possibility, we have the organization, and we have the knowledge to deliver such a thing. And more governments are giving us that freedom because we have reached the point that we have become a critical mass. The Keshe Foundation has become a critical mass in the political scene. You will understand and see this in a very short time. So bring your problems, bring what it is to be a problem, bring your knowledge and your gain to these international teachings, and then at the same time learn to support the Universal Council in what is needed to use the Council for creating peace and equality on earth. This is what the job is. I don't know what day they're going to accept, what day they're going to set. It will be very much like Tuesday afternoons and Thursday mornings. And most probably in the coming time, it will be one of the only teachings which will carry on, because the teachings will get to the point that we teach as much as we can. And then we stop. And everything goes back into the Universal Council and teaching more in depth in the basis of the countries and the nations. We have to become part of the culture of human race to be a peaceful race. And slowly we will achieve it now that we start receiving supports in different ways from different organizations, because it's to the benefit of the humanity and not just for us. In respect to food preservation, in respect to, we were talking earlier on yesterday in a conversation, there is more food produced in US that can feed the whole world, but half of the world suffers from hunger. But on the other hand, the world has become as it is without the United States over thousands of years. We all know how to preserve our life. We know how to feed ourselves when it comes to the crunch. But now the process has changed. The process came to nationalization to become one more powerful by controlling the food. Now with this technology, there is no control. We are all the same. We all can make use of an apple and just send water across the road or across the world. An apple is in the cup, as we just heard, and then it feeds the man. This is the process which we are looking for, where the national strength comes out of serving humanity, not by killing humanity on the banner of the war for peace. This is what our jobs is. This is where the Keshe Foundation International Teaching is for. This is why we made the separation from the beginning, that different languages can come. Chinese used to come and gave them a platform. Now the Chinese teaching totally separates in a very huge, drastic way, which will be announced in the coming time. The same we did, and as we said, always the people who are they have to confirm their existence. They made threats against the teachers. They made threats and all faults and things to every other nationality and languages. We take these threats not lightly, but we will respond to it with such a heavy hand that these people who make these threats understand making a threat against life of a child is a criminal offense under any name and destination. We have received threats against our teachers' children. We will respond to you through Interpol so heavy that you will ask, begging for the life of your own children, because eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. You do not go and make threats against children of the teachers of the Keshe Foundation. You thought you hidden. We expose you so openly, and we put your children on the table of the justice for you to answer how you make these threats. We don't hide. We have a problem we put on the table. We have a solution we put on the table. Gentlemen who are making threat against the Keshe Foundation teachers' children, the way you did with Alex, we are ready to respond. But the way we respond will make sure you will not find anywhere to live. Making a threat against a child is equal to killing a child. We respond to you. The gentleman in Germany and the Red Circle in Belgium. We respond with you such a heavy hand with the threats you made in the past couple of weeks against the children of the Keshe Foundation teachers. You have shown your true color. You are nothing but cowards. You are nothing but the pest in the back of the society. We will respond. The situation is hand of the securities, and our supporters who receive these threats come to us. We have made channels, and we will respond. We will give the name of the security structures which is set up to protect Keshe Foundation supporters. It's international organizations with the full support of the police. As you know, we will explain these things in more detail when it comes. Now, I give you this warning, those of you who are making threats. Now, we respond from this week onwards. You thought you got away, we say hello. If you are man enough to make a threat against a child, you are man enough to answer a man. Unless you are a woman, and then we answer you the woman way. We are here to serve humanity irrespective of color, language, and race. So those who are there to serve, to teach, we support. Now we've seen how people in Belgium and Germany are threatening people. Now they show the true colors. We release their name very soon. We told you we do. We were told not to till the job is done. But, gentlemen, your numbers are up, and you'll be called into the court because everything is delivered as registered documents. Threatening an international law which is passed especially for terrorism against humanity by internet has been set, specifically endorsed by the King of Belgium as an organization. So a Belgian organization will knock on your door very soon, based as an international police in Brussels, brought into by the decree of the King. So we have to do this because we have international listeners, and we emphasize on this again on Thursday. If you receive any kind of threats from anywhere, please just record it. Send it back to the security at Keshe Foundation, and we'll pass it on to the authorities, which is set up to support and protect organizations like us. You made the threat against one of the well-known scientists which works as a teacher, past 2 days to his child. We will respond accordingly. You did the same thing with Alex. We respond accordingly. Now that we've been given a police force, international police protection, to see to this, because it's become ridiculous, one man thinking it's funny. Now, Mr. Sterling is spending a lifetime in prison for abusing the children physically. You'll be spent a lifetime in prison for abusing children on the phone or internet making threats. Anything else? Are there any other questions?
Hello, Mr. Kashi.
Who is this?
This is Paul from Togo.
Yes.
You teach us last Thursday to put CO2 patch on the pen of cancer until you get a reduction of the pen and add zinc oxide patch.
Yes.
Do we put zinc oxide patch on the top of a CO2 patch or one after another?
Are you a doctor?
No.
Why are you asking the question? Are you dealing with a cancer?
I have some case I want to make text with this.
Are you doing it in conjunction with the doctor, or are you doing it on your own?
I am making it with conjunction with doctor.
Yes, but if you are using the cup for yourself, you're using the patch for yourself, is different position. But if you are making this patch to help somebody with a cancer, the question you're asking, please approach a doctor who can monitor and support you in doing so.
Okay.
Do you understand? Let's do it. We are working, we are teaching freely, we are supporting each other freely. Let's do it together correctly too. This is important. You know, we know the data is there, we know the understanding is there, so we need to understand how we can help, but the correct way that data can be collected too. The patch has to be used in a way we teach the doctors to do it, but if you're the last man standing, the process is after the CO2, when you see the reduction, when you feel the reduction, you use zinc oxide in a specific short times to satisfy the emotional energy of the cancer. But if you are doing it for somebody else, please do not do so unless you collaborate with the doctor. That they can monitor, they can see the changes, they can support the changes, they can come into the organizations of understanding how to use the total knowledge. Anything else?
Mr. Casey, this is Douglas. I do have those pictures of the apple. If you'd like for me to show them.
Please, go ahead.
The apple was, as everyone knows, is placed in the top of a cup each day. And this is, let me, hold on, let me get back to screen sharing. This was from my, screen share. This top, this was from my health cup here, and the apple sat in it for 4 months. This was taken on April the 25th here. That was a picture of the apple at 4 months. This is a little over 4 months now. That's another picture of the apple. And there is a picture of the other side of the apple, showing that it was dying on one side. And if we go back, you'll see that it's perfectly healthy on the other side, and dying on this side.
Well, the problem is you have put the dying side in the cup. Would it be any different? It was standing up.
That, sir, I don't know. I always left it with the stem that would have been attached to the tree pointing upward. That's the way I always placed it in the cup. So since I informed the innovation team of this, we've started doing different things to see if we can come up with different results. And now I have got one turned on the side, and I've actually made a bowl out of fiberglass with nano-coated material and CO2 GANs, like a fruit bowl, to see if this will also preserve the fruit. And now with the information you provided today of being able to wash the fruit in water of the GANs, we should see some definite more results.
Can you close your
yes, sir.
please? We don't want to see what you have on the screen. Close your screen, open on it. We still see all your programs. What are
sharing?
Yeah, you got to stop sharing, please.
When you share, you can share just a window rather than your whole screen, and that is better that way.
Okay, I thought I did.
What I would like to ask you, Douglas.
Yes, sir.
The side which stayed fresh, was it in towards the inside the cup or towards the outside the cup?
It was outside of the cup. The part that was staying fresh was staying outside of the cup. I have the pictures here real quick.
Did you put another apple in the room separate in that we could check?
No, but my son had an apple that came from the same bunch that because my son loves apples, my 7-year-old does, and within 2 weeks, the apple it was the very last remaining apple of that bunch that had sat on the counter in the kitchen, exposed to the air where we keep our fruit in just a regular fruit bowl. And the apple had become mushy, and he said he didn't like it, Daddy, and threw it away. It was in bad shape then, and only 2 weeks old. And it was just amazing me that mine kept staying alive and fresh.
Where is the CO2 in the cup?
Yes, sir.
And the side which was shriveled is in the cup, not outside the cup.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So why does the top side stays better than the one which is facing the CO2?
It's directly half and half. If you look down the middle of the pictures, from the top view of the cup, half of the apple and it's pointed down, half of it's in perfect condition, and the other half is dying. And I felt like that it was pulling from one side of the apple and feeding the other side.
Can we see the cross section of it? You cut it. Can we see
Yes, sir. Just give me a second. I'm not on screen share, am I? And I'll pull this up real quick.
Share a specific window, not the desktop.
Yeah, don't share desktop, share a window. Yes, thank you.
Okay. All right. I will try to do this, guys. Bear with me. A lot of things on the computer not that savvy with. Here is the cross sections of the apple. All right, and open them. Okay. And minimize now. Close this out and share screen. How do I share? Which one do I push, Rick? Okay. Select a window or application that you want to share. Oh, I gotta blow that thing up. What that is? Full screen for video clip. Is that it? Oh, there it is, right there. I think I have that up. Can everybody see that?
Yeah, we still see your whole desktop though with your applications and so on, rather than just the window of your photos application.
Screen, new share, pause share, annotate, remote control. New share, more. There's more. There ain't stable one. Hide video panel.
It looks good on the skin, but it's literally rotten inside.
Yes, sir. I'm trying to make this where it's large. Maybe it won't show. There's nothing really on my mind, Rick. This is a new computer. There's no.
That's correct.
There's no programs on there that can affect anything or anybody can get to anyway. This is one of the pictures of the cut, and you can see I quartered it. This is what the good side looked like before I sliced it in half. You can see the date is the 5/9, which was yesterday. So this is approaching 5 months on this apple, which is astronomical in its own right. This is the apple cut in half, and you can notice that the good side of the apple, how fresh it is on the outside, and how it drew from the other side. It would appear. Now that's just, you're the master of this, sir. So and here's the quarter section. You can see the different field, the flat, I call the flat field interaction, and the other one being the wider, the top view. If you were looking at a star system, this would be looking down at it, and this would be looking at it sideways. That's just the way I look at the field interactions and what occurred here. I don't know, you're the master at this, sir, but I just wanted to show you this, and to see an apple last 5 months, almost 5 months, is it's a miracle to me, and to I guess a lot of other people. Fruit usually doesn't last that long. Nothing was done to this. It wasn't preserved. It wasn't washed. It was just taken off my cup every day so I could fill my cup back up with water. And I'd set it on top of my cup every night before I went. When I filled the cup up, I'd let it sit overnight, and I drank from my cup every morning. I do the same process every day, and I have since I made the cup back at the end of January. So this has been an ongoing process. I have also a video. I'm not going to share the video with you real quick, but you heard me say I have chickens. I had a baby chicken yesterday that was dead. I had thought was dead, and I felt a little bit of tiny movement in it. I brought it in the house, took a syringe and gave it little tiny drops of CO2 Gans water and a little bit of warmth in the sunshine, and placed two little CH3 and a CO2 little vial that's 1 inch long for another purpose in a formation around this little chicken. And this little chicken is up and alive and running around today. And we've had a second one this morning that done the same thing, and I have repeated the process. And within the last, just since me and you've been on, since 2 hours ago, this chicken is now up on its feet again and is moving around again. And like I said, it's just a couple drops out of a syringe of CO2 Gans water, and placing the little amulets of CH3 and CO2 around the bird, and it is, I call a healing formation for the bird, and they've responded immediately. And I just wanted to share that with you also, that has worked for my little baby chickens. And the one yesterday, this one we caught early. The one yesterday, sir, it rigor mortis had already started setting in. The legs were stiff. It was hard. I was going to the refuse bin with it to dispose of it properly, so it could be given back to Mother Earth. And I had it cussed in my hand. And at the time, I thought a movement, and I thought, hey, wait, maybe there's some life in this bird. I know my intentions were, I don't want any of my birds to die. I love my birds. I love all animals. So my intentions were strong also. So a combination of the two, I believe, but mostly the Gans has corrected whatever imbalance was wrong with the bird, and has apparently fixed it. And the other one, like I said, that we found 2 hours ago, I'm looking at it right now, and it's got its little eyes open, and it's up moving its head around, and it couldn't even move 2 hours ago. It was stiff as a board. So I just wanted to share that with you also. I know that's a little off subject, but just wanted to share that with you. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for all your knowledge that you've given us.
Thank you very much. Now we have some information on the veterinary as well. We know a lot of people are testing these things with their animals. Can you shut your windows, please? Stop sharing because we see everything. Is it? How come we see my?
Yeah, I stopped sharing over here, sir.
Yeah. Fabio, how come we see everything on ours now? But ours is protected anyway, so it's I hope it's good enough. All those on the side, all the programs. So those back on the camera.
Those aren't my programs, sir. Those are somebody else's.
It is on the background. Okay. Thank you very much. Ah, okay. No problem. That's okay. No problem. Are there any other knowledge to be shared?
Yeah. Mr. Kesh, this is Heather. You were asking about the amount of each of the plasma Gans that might be required to do certain things, and I did have some testing done on that by the method that I used for the frequency testing. and it had to do with the ocean GANs. The person that I was talking to was interested in altering their swimming pool into the properties of ocean GANs. So they always wanted to live by the beach and have the, the benefits of the ionic properties, I guess, of ocean water. And he was curious as to how much would be required. Like, are we talking one drop in an entire ocean to alter that water, or what would be the ratio? And so we tested it.
To test the water of the swimming pool into ocean water.
Yeah. So.
What about if it's contaminated? You put in the contamination in too.
Well, the other question was, they could do that also with the CO2 GANs, correct? And
Okay.
we were just curious.
I'm going to bring somebody who's done a test on this. Jackie, you're there?
So anyway, we did get a ratio.
Just 1 minute.
Just let's answer. Jackie has done a test on a swimming pool with a GAN water. He can answer you. Jackie, could you tell us what you've done, please?
Yes. So, at the beginning, in the winter time in Switzerland, I have put a copper wire into a box with some CO2 in one box, and in another box it was the CO, and I let for 2 months. And then when the little hot come in Switzerland, we opened the swimming pool, we changed the water, and then I put 2 liters approximately of CO2 liquid plasma, CO liquid plasma, and some CH3. And I put in 3 liters of distilled water, and I put this liquid into the swimming pool. And I can show you a picture of the swimming pool if you want.
Yeah. Notice it's totally opposite to the rest of us. In the rest of the world, we open our swimming pools during the summer. In Switzerland, they heat it up and they open it in the winter.
We are specific guys.
The cocktails are.
Because it's the microplasma climate. I just want to share the screen. Excuse me. Where is the picture? One sec.
Mr. Kesh, I actually have the numbers from that testing. I wasn't.
Yeah, just let him show. You see the pool. Yeah. We are very diverse in the knowledge today. So we did agriculture, we did the other part. Now let's see how the pleasure part or the leisure part comes in. So can you explain to us what you did exactly there? Jackie?
There is 5 liters, so it's 3 liters of distilled water and 2 liters of a liquid plasma of CH3, CO, and CO2.
Why did you put CH3 in it?
Because it was when you speak with the mix of the 3 gases, and my understanding, it's we are dealing in a plasma state, and when we put our body in the swimming pool, if we doesn't need the CH3 or different element, it doesn't care. But I want the full spectrum to allow the body to take what he needs and reject what he doesn't need.
How does it feel using this pool for past few months?
It's for example, my sister, she loves the water, and she goes every day for 2 hours in the swimming pool, and she loves the sensation. Me, I'm not so watered, so I put my feet and I just watch the beauty of the nature, and it's really peaceful, and you feel Yeah, like in a dream, and you are more connected with yourself and really peaceful and a lot of happiness.
Does this bring emotional level effect?
Yeah.
What about physical changes? You see?
It's difficult to say because in my family, since we are dealing into the plasma, we are all in a good physical shape. And we have not other people who come for the moment. But I want to try with person who want to have some experience in the bus.
Okay, would you, Giovanni says, how big is the swimming pool?
It's 10 meters long, it's 4 large and 2.5 high.
10 by 4 by 2.5. So he uses about 5 liters of water. Okay, thank you very much, Jackie. Would you like to use the data, please?
Just for just to show this is interesting, it's because this is a nice to complement on that. You know, this is a fountain in my village, and this is not.
I've seen this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This picture is not the first picture of this fountain. The first picture was 10 days before. Or the greenish and all these algae are so, there is so much, you doesn't see through the water. And this is 10 days after, and the last one, the last picture is that. I just need to take the last one. It's I think it's that. No, it's another one.
This is the one which the guy came and cleaned up the pool.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the last one. Share screen. Oh no. Share screen. Every time it's the same. Ah, yeah.
Go back. You just passed it.
Yeah. This is the last one. And the water was quite clear. And the guy, after 1 year, who let this fountain like this in this bullshit, he come and for the first time he cleaned totally the fountain. This is so funny, you know. It's like the plasma who just asked this guy, come on and make the end of your work. You are paid for that, so make your job, you know.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, thanks for sharing. How much did you put in that water?
Oh, it's a really small amount, 2 deciliters of liquid plasma.
Plasma. Ah, okay. Thank you very much, Jackie.
You're welcome.
Can we go back? Could you please share your data with us, please?
Can I what?
No,
yeah.
Not you, Jackie. She was trying to explain to us the data of the results of the study.
Oh.
That was Heather, I think.
Yeah, this is Heather. Yeah, now, and know that this testing was done with the, that SRT method, okay? It's not a scientific test. It's
you explain to us what is SRT?
Yeah, I did that last time. It's really an ancient method that they use. It's using a pendulum and charts to ask questions and receive information from the intelligence of what you're connecting to. So it's like the...
What is your measurement?
Pardon?
What are the measurements?
Okay. Yeah, so we were interested in his swimming pool. He said his swimming pool is 25,000 gallons. And we asked if he put 1 drop only of the plasma water, how long it would take to change or charge that water. And the answer was 7 months. However, if you put 1 milliliter, it would take 44 days. And then it started to come up with a ratio. We were going to ask, what would be the ratio? And it said in 1 hour, the plasma water would charge 500 times its own volume of water. And in 24 hours, it would charge in 24 hours, the plasma water would charge 30,000 times its volume so there is a ratio, but it has like a sliding scale. It escalates as you use more of the plasma water.
Yeah, but how far do we go in taking scientific data or assumptions, assuming that we'll do this?
Right. That's the question.
There's a teaching which we do on Thursday, which I'll explain a lot about these things. We explain a lot in development of new space technology, and hopefully, if those who understand and understood and can carry out in what has been taught in the past couple of weeks and what's going to be taught in the next 2 weeks, by 1st of June, those who understood and could carry it out should be able to see the first images, the first shimmers, the first structures of a spaceship. I'm heading you in that direction. So those of you who been in the teachings in the past 2-3 weeks since we started speaking about the liquid plasma, field plasma, you should be able to bring the knowledge together. Listen very carefully in this Thursday and next Thursday and in a couple of Thursdays to come, that you will be able to create, you will be able to see the first signs and effects of what you call the spaceship. I'm taking you there. You're very much aware of all the knowledge, but we start bringing in and explaining how some of you might even reach it within the next 2 weeks maximum. So there is a lot of reasons we put these things here. There is a lot of reasons we teach this way, and as part of what we said, we go to the push for the October teaching. Most of the October teaching on will come mostly on system control, understanding how to control, clear your destination, and everything else. We will teach, some of you should have known by now how to create the first. I've taught very deeply. Listen, go over the last 2-3 weeks of the Thursday teachings. Go over the last Tuesday, especially the way teaching. The day when there was a conference in Dubai, we had a 1-hour session. I opened a section on that Tuesday, 3 weeks ago, that was to coincide with the development of an establishment of the Universal Council. Because now we're teaching you very direct implication, application, and in a way the use of the space technology. At the same time, we are putting a lot of governments on alert. A lot of you, a number of you, especially one, is getting guided directly into the establishment of this spaceship. There is no doubt one will see very soon, if the conditions kept the way we teach, we will be able to show, you will be able to show the spaceship. But you built it. Now, running it, controlling it, using it for peaceful application will become a harder job than making it. You will find you build a spaceship, but you can't get in it. You'll find you will see the shimmers, you will see your reactors, but you can't even get your hands in it. So this is part of the teaching. This is what will come and will do. And I hope, as I said, we'll try to set the scene. A lot of you, I gave you the hint last Thursday, we might show spaceship technology in Rome conference. But having a cake does not mean you're going to eat the cake. You can look at it, you can smell it, but it needs a man. All of you been up to now, okay, we made it. But it needs a man to get in and find out if he's going to be here or he's going to find himself in somewhere else he was not expecting to be. So, building it, we are on the target. I will show, and I said, there's one man who will achieve it in a very short time. He's on target. He knows who he is. I'm guiding him. I have a high respect for him, and it's part of the inner core of the Science and Education Foundation. But in that process, you built it. How are you going to use it? You built it. How are you going to take energy from it to live, to exist? The problem is not having it. The problem now is using it. You have the beautiful Rolls Royce, fully gold plated, all made of the most beautiful diamonds. The only thing is, you don't know how to drive. It sits on the drive till you learn. You have the money, you bought yourself the latest private jet, but you're not a pilot. You got to wait for the pilot. There are two choices. I make a pilot out of you, or you leave it there till you become pilot according to the law and understanding of your soul. Flying it, correctly getting where you want to go is much harder than building it. A lot of the teaching we've done in the past few weeks, in the past 2 years, has been in the direction of getting to where it is. Now we get you there, very rapid. This was my decision to get you into the flight condition, but now you have to come to an agreement in how and where and who dares to get in and knows where you're going to land. Would you like to land in New York, or would you like to land in planet Zeus? You do not know. You have no idea about the control. Your wish was to get the free energy. We've done the free energy. We've done the energy packages. We've done the patches to get diseases. And we've seen the people trying different kind of energy tablets of the GANs and whatever. But the ultimate goal, I said, all this is about 10% of the total foundation work, is to get you into space. Very soon, very, very sooner than you think, a number of you will take the shape. You will see the shape. Ali brought in, he couldn't complete. We saw Jackie trying to, he did not complete because the totality was not understood. I've taken responsibility and I'm teaching one person very close quarters in the way it's been done, in the software that it can be understood. Because to me, the soul is highly respected and deserves to be a man who delivers. And in that process, you will see the minute we show you, all of you know how to make it, but all to your seat. How are you going to fly? Where are you going to land? What's going to do if you're inside it? The whole process starts now. The governments who tested it have lost a number of lives because they did not understand the process. From now on, the danger is not building it, is surviving in using it. Would you like to become a kamikaze pilot in the space? You're quite welcome. This is, I always say, as you heard the gentleman on last Thursday, what I said 3 years ago, now he sees. Now what I say today, in 3 weeks' time, you will see. But the problem sits then. You built it, what are we going to do with it? how we're going to use it, how we're going to apply it, and how we are going to bring it in a useful way that it brings peace to humanity. It is very easy. A lot of you, when you see the first, what we call UFOs, the spaceship, you will understand the beginning of the journey has started. A lot of you will have a fear to take into space of not knowing, and some of you will take the chance to risk it and see what comes. But I tell you one thing, 99% of you will be outside looking inside, but you will not be able to get inside. The car is locked. A lot of you will have this problem. A lot of you will have a problem now in the next coming weeks in being able to solidify. Listen to the teaching on Thursday morning. I thought part of this in the private teaching of this morning to do to the knowledge seekers which were with us. We expand on this on Thursday teaching. But would you like to be inside? The biggest question is, those of you who build the system and you're inside it, how are you going to get outside? So there is a lot of questions. Where do you put the door of your spaceship? How do you create that tunnel that you can go in and out? How do you create the environment that you can survive within the craft? Governments who listen on the background and secure lines behind all our communications are busy with it beyond imagination. I presume if the officials who understood now how to use the combination of the process of the GANs and the plasma are already on a flight mode with a new technology. The technology I took to Iran over 8 years ago is obsolete, by years obsolete. So you brought a lot of you from different nationalities, different colors, different races, the knowledge freely to share with us. But the knowledge I've shared with you, it brings the freedom to all of you. But you have to understand what is about to come. We are on the international arena, we are on the international teaching, and in the coming weeks, you will see the structure. You will feel and touch, but you won't be able to eat the apple. In so many ways, try in the coming weeks to understand the work of the plasma as a field, not the work of the plasma as a gas. Try to understand the interaction of the fields as a plasma and not as a gas. And then try to understand the interaction of the fields as fields of both gravitational and magnetical, and not as the interaction of the, what you call, gases and the plasma itself. And then the biggest problem you will have is when you created it, the system you create becomes the image of your own behavior and your own thoughts. So if you have the wrong intentions, your crafts will show immediately. And that's where you will not be able to be the passengers of the trouble. You got to understand, from now on, start soul searching and start understanding the work of your own inner thoughts, and start not just by learning how to use the gas to wash or to clean or to feed, but to understand, to use the forces of the plasma, to understand the behavior of the emotion of your own soul, because now the key sits there. If you remember, in the beginning teachings a few weeks ago, I said, if your thoughts are love and my thoughts are love, we'll see no interaction, transparency, which is clear. If my intentions is love and your intentions is war, I see it too. And it's very easy. So there is no point to deceive, there is no point to hide. And these systems will come out to you very, very fast. You got to realize in the coming time, our collaboration and cooperation with the governments puts a different speed in the whole of the technology. The collaboration, the cooperation we have started and we carry on with major governments will change the course of the technology, as our collaboration with them will be on the same transparent way as it is with the rest of you. Everything will be shared. This is the condition of being a free organization built by the people, for the people, amongst the people. The true, what we call free platform is here. It sits with the Keshe Foundation. There are not many organizations which have so many Facebook, so many people connected to, all the chat lines, most of the internet, some 26,000 websites in one country alone, sharing, talking, delivering knowledge. We have become one of the most open source technologies man ever known. And that's thanks to you, not to us. We put the knowledge on the table and you shared it. Now we share the knowledge with you very freely. A number of you are on the verge of delivering the spaceship. I make sure that you will do. But I will not give you the key to get in or to get out. The key is within you. The key is in the structure of your own soul, your own thoughts, and it's time to clean up. And you'll find out there is no need for defense technology. What happens if I behave this way? What happens to the others? Because the whole structure is set to be equal amongst all of you. If you see, when you come to understand the process of the creation of the spaceship, maybe your own house become part of the inside of it. How are you going to stay alive till we find a way out of it for you? How come and what happened if the craft you create by the field forces you developed develops the whole of your family inside and you're outside? Then you have to look for the key within the soul, within your own structure, how you set it up. You'll find a key in and out. I start teaching in very much in depth and very much in a very simple language, and we will see that it will be delivered. We are on the verge, not on the verge. A number of people have achieved, but they don't want to come out because of the fear of whatever. But in so many ways, we deliver it, you'll see it, I tell you, and I'll teach you, and in so many ways, it's for you from now on to deliver. We are from now on the guardians and not the teachers. We guide you how to bring, how to deliver, but how to behave to be able to enjoy the beauty of it. Any questions? Or shall we call it a day?
There's a couple of quick questions here, I believe. Let me see if I can find them back in the depository here. Oh, it was about the Douglas's apple seeds, and Yvonne was wondering what about the apple seeds. Are they germinating? And there's somebody else who suggested putting the seeds or putting the apple. Go here. Put the apple part from, let's see what about that. Where was the question here? So it was something about putting the apple back in the to try to grow it, whether it would grow from the grow part of, you know, where the apple was on the good side. Grow from.
He's already cut the apple. What will be interesting, what will be very interesting regarding what we talked about is what you see as the gans of the water which used in the pool and they swim in, and the people who are using it as a touch and drinking. Would this gans of water which we put in changes the size of the fish? Would it stop the fish to die and absorb energy without eating another fish? Would our behavior in changing things change the whole structure? But the other point is, when we produce and we decide to clean up the gases of the waters and the seas and the oceans and the airs we polluted, where are we going to put these? You clean up the radiation, you can put, we've seen a drop of gas of copper oxide and the water gets cleaned up, but it sits at the bottom. What happens to the life of the animals at the bottom of the sea? This is the way humanity has to consider every aspect of life is precious and respected. Not just sorting that we put a gas and it goes to the bottom. What about the bottom, which has gases, which make decisions, and we call them different animals? Would the gas which goes to the bottom becomes the energy source for them to live a better life? Doesn't mean necessarily to demise of their life. These are all what you got to consider. From now on, the humanity thinks totality, not it's good for me, Jack. This is the way we have to operate. This is the way we have to program the work of the foundation, that we live not only a happy life as a man, we live a happy life as a planet. Do we allow for things to take shape, or do we create a condition that when it takes shape, a new shape is within the frame of the understanding of the peace coexistence? How many people do we need? How much do we need? Do we need to give so much that we have no much more to give except to serve? These are the things which comes on the table. In the next 3-4 weeks, we'll go so deep, so fast with the knowledge transfer. As you've seen, the gas of water 3 weeks ago was non-existent, the liquid part. In 3 weeks, all of you are using it, developing it, doing things with it. In a 2 or 3 weeks' time, you lot, most of you, some of you, will start creating the structures which you wanted. But then it comes the real crunch. Man spent thousands of years learning, trying to learn how to fly. Now man flies, but we see a lot of jets in the air. None of you is a pilot. We train people to become the pilot of these systems, to know where to go. We build the craft. We build the spaceship, which has been the dream of the man for thousands of years. But now we need to train the pilots. And the pilots is every single one of you. And that is what I said in the teaching before. You're the last man standing. You have to decide not just for yourself, but for the humanity as total. Thank you very much for today. We come back on Thursday. On Thursday, we take the technology to a step further in most of you or some of you trying to establish the first spaceships. We take you to the point that you can deliver We take it to the point. It takes you from tomorrow or from Thursday or next week, 2 or 3 weeks to set up the system the way it should be done. And then we'll see how you start showing the true pictures. That is, if you understand. From now on, it depends totally on how you interpret the knowledge and how you deliver the knowledge. Thank you very much. Somebody is flying already. Hello. The first UFO is on the run.
Thank you, Mr. Cash. Thank you very much. And I did save the seeds, and they are out of the apple, and we are germinating them, and they were healthy. To answer that question for everybody, God bless each and every one of you, and thank you again, Mr. Cash, for all that you've done for me and my family. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you, Rick. We'll speak on Thursday morning.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Kesh, and thanks to everyone here today. Great contributions. Okay, that's the end of the 14th International Knowledge Seekers Workshop for Tuesday, May 10th, 2016. And thanks everyone for attending, and we'll see you in the Knowledge Seekers Workshop on Thursday. Okay, I'll end the live stream.